Ladies and gentlemen, there's a very, very important Senate race in Nevada, and we have an opportunity to pick up a seat there with a great candidate, Sam Brown. Sam Brown is the Republican nominee for the Senate in the great state of Nevada. Sam Brown, how are you, sir?
Mark, I'm doing great. It's good to be on with you and talking to one of the most dedicated and intelligent audiences out there.
Yeah, this is a great audience. Now, Sam, why don't you tell this audience a little bit about yourself, your background, your military service, and why you decided to run?
Yeah, the bottom line is, like so many Americans across this country and even listening right now, I'm just someone who believes that we've got one of the greatest countries man has ever known, and that it's worth serving and fighting for. So I was a senior in high school on 9/11 and had parents that really encouraged me to serve this country. And I'd been in the process of applying to go to a military academy and was accepted before the end of 2001 and went to West Point from 02 to 06 and had an opportunity to serve in uniform with some great folks from 06 to 08 when I went to Afghanistan, and unfortunately was wounded and lost one of my soldiers, and a couple others were wounded as well. But that was a real turning point for me, professionally speaking, because it brought the end of my military career, but opened up new opportunities to build a family and pursue life, in the business sector and build a business and, position me to be able to serve again in a different capacity.
And you were severely injured, and I want people to know what a fantastic young man you are. I'm older, much older, so I can say you're a young man. You're still a young man to me. And you won the Republican primary in Nevada, which was no small task. You got the support of President Donald Trump as well. And right. You're running against an individual who is a radical leftist who votes down the line with Biden, but could be voting down the line with AOC. Tell everybody about your opponent, the incumbent senator.
Yeah, Jackie Rosen is a first-term incumbent, and she really came into power on the back of one former Senate Majority Leader, Harry Reid. He kind of plucked her out of obscurity. She was had served one term in the House before running in 2018 for her first term in the Senate, and she came in office and has done nothing but vote against the agenda of President Trump while he was still in office, and has done everything to support Joe Biden. Even to this day, Mark, she was asked today her thoughts on the competency or the ability of President Biden to continue on and potentially be president for another 4 years, and she will not put any distance between her or Biden. Won't call out the obvious, and she's done everything from allowing. In fact, here's one of the greatest offenses. She sits on Homeland Security Committee, and for over 1,500 days would not even pay a visit to the Border Patrol agents down there at the border to assess the situation, and has allowed our border crisis to continue. She's for increased regulations. She's for raising taxes. And here's one of the greatest offenses: is as a Jewish woman in the Senate, she has not stood up and pushed back against Biden or even Chuck Schumer, as these Democrat leaders have done nothing but insult Prime Minister Netanyahu and have hindered Israel's ability to prosecute this necessary war against Hamas.
Yeah, and you're a big supporter of the United States. You put your life on the line. It affected you forever. You're a great patriot, and you're a big supporter of the state of Israel. And you're literally running against a leftist in the Democrat Party who's born Jewish, and your credentials in supporting the state of Israel are far superior to hers. It's really amazing when you think about it, isn't it, Sam?
It really is. We're at a time and place now where words don't matter; it's action. And at a time when she had an opportunity to take action, to vote on a bill that the House passed on the same day that Congress is standing on the steps of the Capitol to stand with Israel, and the Senate Democrats rush in and vote against that bill that would support Israel, allow Israel to defend itself. When it comes to action, she's not there whether it's for Israel or even for the American people, as we've been crushed by Biden's policies.
What are the big issues in Nevada? I assume they're the big issues that are all over the country, the immigration and the economy, yes?
It's economy number one and border crisis number two. Those are the two primary issues. We're a state that was most affected by the COVID lockdowns of the Democrats, including our Democrat governor at the time. We've got the second highest unemployment rate in the nation right now. On average, our energy costs are second highest in the nation, and we're a real working class state here. Our median household income is $63,000, and people are struggling to survive. And they're seeing people come into this country illegally who are rewarded for that. It's not fair to the American people who have worked so hard to have the Democrat leaders just turn the screws on them and make things so much tougher. But look, help is on the way. I learned an important lesson the day that I nearly lost my life. Is one of my soldiers put his life in harm's way, and he told me these 4 words. He said, "Sir, I've got you." And that took me from a place of having given up the will to live to a place of hope. And that's my message to America, Mark, is I've got you. For the Nevadans who are hurting, I've got you. For Republicans who are losing hope, I've got you. We can turn this thing around. And all I ask is that people join me, and they can do that at CaptainSamBrown.com.
We have with us Sam Brown, the Republican candidate for the United States Senate, up against a Biden-supporting leftist, Jackie Rosen, who does what Chuck Schumer tells her to do. She basically represents Manhattan, not the state of Nevada, and not the people in Nevada. I'll tell you a little bit more about Sam Brown. He's a very modest man. He was not a politician. He is an everyday Nevadan. He came back from the military, was severely wounded, received a Purple Heart. He's from a small town, a working-class military family. I'm just looking at his bio. And before starting a small business, he was helping veterans get access to critical medications when the VA failed. He went back to school. He earned his MBA. And to support his family, he worked at an Amazon warehouse in Reno, Nevada. This gentleman, Sam Brown, is a quintessential American patriot. Jackie Rosen is not. She's a hand-picked machine politician who does what she wants to do. Now, there's a lot of patriotic, conservative union members in these casinos, Sam Brown. I know when I've been there, they're very friendly to me. They want to shake my hand. They want my signature. They're members of the union there.
Right.
But they seem to be very, very patriotic, quite conservative, and they just need somebody like you to tell them why they should vote for you. And that's what you're doing, right?
That's right, Mark. I mean, at the end of the day, people want to know that someone understands, their situation in life, and it won't fold when the big DC elite machine kind of comes around and tells them, hey, you put us over your constituents. And my background is somewhat unique. In 2016, I was just a husband, a dad with 3 young kids, and a Trump voter. In 2020, like so many other Americans, you need to do a little bit more. And so I became a volunteer, and I knocked doors for President Trump's reelection campaign in 2020. But I'm really no different today, other than I've had the opportunity, because so many people have rallied with me, to become a Senate nominee against Jackie Rosen in this race. But I still come from working at Amazon, running my own business, being an entrepreneur. And this race is so important because when we win Nevada, we're going to take back the Senate majority. And President Trump needs a Republican majority, a strong Republican majority, with folks like myself in there, to ensure that we get a new slate of executive branch appointees in there, people that they've been preparing to have ready to go on day one. Anytime we get a judicial nominee up there, that they're going to get passed through the Senate, that we fix the issues on the border, that we get an American energy security policy in place. There's so much work to do, but But this race is one of the tightest out of the battleground Senate races right now, and it's why it's key for us to win it and take that majority.
Talking to Sam Brown, he's a patriot. He's a hero, and he's running for the United States Senate. He's a man of very modest means, middle-class family, working family, of a small town in Nevada, and he stepped up to the plate. How close is this race, and how much money are you having to deal with being spent against you? I imagine they're spending a lot.
They are spending a lot. Chuck Schumer's already put $40 million into this race from his super
my
PAC.
Lord.
And Jackie Rosen is approaching $30 million raised. The good news is, I've got to thank, the Nevadans here. They've been my number one financial supporter, but there's so many patriots across the country. Mark, in 1 year of this campaign, we've raised $10 million. And it's just an amazing feat for a grassroots funded type of campaign to be able to do that. But here's the thing. I've got to raise about another $10 million in the next 118 days. But I know that Americans are going to rally with me. This race is too important, and there's too many people that are with us. We're not going to let this thing slip away. It's a single-digit race right now. Jackie's got a slight lead on me, but the good news is you're talking about those union workers. We're talking about independents. We're talking about people who just want to live the American dream. I'm leading her with independence right now, Mark, and we're gonna continue to expand that. And President Trump, very importantly, is leading Joe Biden in a big way here, and he's going to help create that tailwind for myself and other people down ballot.
Mm-hmm. It is amazing. You see, Schumer understands, in his view, he can go into these lesser populated states, pour tens of millions of dollars in, own the airwaves, character assassinate the opponents, build up as angels the candidates he supports. He's doing it in Nevada, he's doing it in Montana, he's doing it in these states with these smaller populations. And they figure that's how they're going to win this thing come November. But I think if enough Americans who are listening to this program understand what a really important candidate you are and how good you are and what a great senator you would be, and that even a small donation in a state like Nevada can go a long way, that would make a difference. So I want to encourage you, my brothers and sisters in the audience, patriotic Americans, go to CaptainSamBrown.com. All you vets out there, all you active military, National Guard, police officers, firefighters, patriots of all kinds, all stripes, all parts of the country, please go to CaptainSamBrown.com. CaptainSamBrown.com. If you ever saw the movie Mr. Smith Goes to Washington with Jimmy Stewart,
sir.
I just want my audience to know, Sam, that's you. That is Sam Brown. And so I want to encourage you to take a look at his website, CaptainSamBrown.com. Give him all the support that you can. And we'll have you back, Sam, before the election. I want to wish you all the best, and God bless you and your family, my friend.
Thank you, Mark, and thank you to this audience. I appreciate you guys.
You got it. Take care of yourself. This guy's a good guy.